Senior Moments, sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group on News Talk KVNU, 102 FM and 610 AM.
Good morning and welcome to the Senior Moment Show. We are back again, Sid, for another great show. It's springtime and things are new, and this show is new. My name is Bruce and Sid is my co-host, and welcome to the show. Sid?
Good morning, Bruce. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. We have a great guest today. It's Hannah Cragen. She's with an organization called Senior Companions, which was in Cache Valley, then it wasn't in Cache Valley. Now it's back in Cache Valley, right, Hannah?
Correct. For various reasons.
For various reasons. We'll talk more about that in just a second. But before we get started, Sid is going to tell us all about her favorite topic.
It's my favorite thing. This radio show is sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group, which is a group of professionals that has dedicated their time and efforts to provide information to seniors, their family members, and really anybody who cares. If you'd like to learn more about the Empowering Seniors Group, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info, or you can email us at empoweringseniorscv@gmail.com, and the CV stands for Cache Valley. And lastly, if there's something we haven't talked about, any shows you'd like to put us together, any guests you'd like to have us invite, give me a call personally at 435-512-6406.
So Sid was not here last week, and so I gave that number out. But we can also text to that number, right?
Yes, you can.
So if you've got something you want to... If you don't really want to talk to us, but you just want to send us some information, you can text us.
Yes, that works.
Between the hours of whenever.
Please not after 9.
Okay, all right. Let's get going here. So, Hannah Cragen, Senior Companions Volunteer Coordinator. We're going to learn about Senior Companions in just a second, but before we do that, let's learn about Hannah and a little bit about your background and maybe why you're involved here and what you enjoy about it and what motivates you here.
Yeah, so I've had a kind of funny journey. I started out wanting to do marriage and family therapy, and then I started to work as a counselor at a troubled youth treatment center, and I found out, I love working with people, but I don't think I've found the right population yet. And so I decided to do my master's in human development and family studies, and one of my professors said, you should really look into aging in adulthood, our certificate. So I took a class from her, and I loved it, and I was like, I can't wait to work with the people and not just study what makes them tick and what makes them happy. And so I loved it. And then I also studied about caregiving, and my first job was with seniors, and I've never looked back.
And what was the first thing you did after you graduated then?
So it was actually my previous job. I was a volunteer director, and so I have a very similar job now, but I helped seniors volunteer by being companions and provide caregiver support. And so it's a very similar program, but I'm kind of in a new role.
Right. And this is just kind of the evolution of this, because this program used to be done by Bragg, the one that you're doing now, and now it's not. It's something that's being done differently. Because it's a grant, which means you're given federal funds or funds from a foundation to provide a program for a couple of years, and then you show how your program works, and then they refund you for more years, or it just depends. But a grant is just you're given money and some requirements. And so that's what Bragg had for 18 years. They actually had a grant that they renewed multiple times. And so this is the same grant, just it's being sponsored by someone different, which is You Serve Utah, which is the state's it's the State Service Commission.
So how do you assess, or how do you come about what kind of needs seniors have that you're looking for volunteers for?
Well, we talk to places like the Area Agency on Aging, the Veterans Resource Center, and we say, what do you need? And a lot of it is, especially during the pandemic, social isolation has been a problem. And so they want a friend. And sometimes it's help with staying independent in their own homes, because they're mostly independent, but they're not quite assisted living, but they can't drive anymore, or something like that. So you fill in those little needs, fill in those holes until to help them age in place longer.
So there's two parts to this, really. There's the volunteer side,
Right.
which is now not. There's a stipend that goes with that now. There's a little bit of money that comes with that if you decide to do that.
Correct.
And then there's the need side for people who want help.
Yeah, but it does help both sides at the same time. It because you're a companion, you also derive benefits of being a companion, which is better mental health and a sense of purpose and satisfaction. And so, yeah, it's a dually beneficial program.
Awesome. And let's maybe talk a little bit on what the service looks like and what things you do or don't do. Is this always a visit, or can this also be a phone call for companionship? Let's hear that.
Yeah, so we mostly do in person. We would never do only teleservice right now because we know that needs are really best met in person. But if someone was like out of town or maybe they got sick, we would continue to do that over the phone. But that in person is companionship can look like anything, whether it's watching TV together or playing chess or reading a book together or going on a walk. It just depends on the person being served. And then also if they need help with, maybe they need a ride to the doctor or grocery store, we can help with that. It just depends on each person and their needs, if that answers that question.
So maybe paint us a picture of the typical person that would call you to get help.
Yeah.
What's their situation look like?
Yeah, so let's say Betty has been doing really well, but she had a stroke that has affected her left arm. And so she has come out of skilled nursing, she's at home, and she just needs a little bit of help around the house, but overall she's doing great. She assistance maybe with some laundry. And so she would just call and say, hey, I need this. And the main goal is to also be a companion, be that friend. And so we want to make sure that whatever we do focuses on that. And then above and beyond that is the assistance with whatever they need. So someone that's not in assisted living and they are still at home, but they just need a little more help, or maybe they've lost their driver's license recently, and but they were independent and so they want to keep staying in their home, and so we help make that happen for longer.
Okay, Hannah, we're already coming up on our first break, but really quickly, maybe just for clarification, can you list a few things that you cannot do?
Yeah, so we can't help with bathing, we can't help with toileting, we can't administer medication, but we can remind someone to give medication or take their medication. We wouldn't be able to clean your house, but we could help with a few light housekeeping things, like if you need to change a light bulb or you spilled peas on the floor, we could sweep that up, but we're not going to do like a full custodial service or full home health service.
Thank you, Hannah, so much. This is the Senior Moments Show. We're visiting today with Hannah Cragen. She is the volunteer coordinator at Senior Companions, which is an organization here in Cache Valley. And maybe you want to get your pen and paper out, because when we come back from the break, we'll make sure to give you a phone number and some digits to get in touch with Hannah in case you would like to volunteer your services or you have some needs. Again, this is the Senior Moments Show. We'll take a little break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
When it comes to successful aging, eating well matters. Staying physically active matters. Getting socially engaged matters. Living alone, aging alone, it's harder to consistently do that. Hi, this is Chris Grohl with Pioneer Valley Lodge, where we make it easier to do those things every day. Our mission at Pioneer Valley Lodge in North Logan is to help seniors live better, age more gracefully, and stay independent for as long as possible. Pioneer Valley Lodge, an independent living community for seniors.
Oh, it seems like yesterday I was playing with my kids on the playground.
Seems like yesterday I was building a treehouse in the backyard.
Time goes by too fast, but there is something you can do to ensure you're taken care of down the road. I'm Tracy Ferris with Quality First Insurance. A long-term care insurance policy is something we all need as we get older. If you wait until you need it, you're too late. Let me help you understand the options and benefits of long-term care insurance. Call me today, 435-752-0101.
If you're retired or plan to retire soon, will you outlive your money or will your money outlive you? If you don't know the answer, I can help. Hi, I'm Patty Bartholomew, a financial consultant with Parsonex Securities. If you have questions about your financial plan or just need a second opinion, call me today at 435-227-5556.
Investments are not FDIC insured, nor are they deposits of or guaranteed by a bank or any other entity, so they may lose value. Investors should carefully consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the funds. This and other important information is contained in each fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, which can be obtained from a financial professional and should be read carefully before investing. Securities offered through Parsonex Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC, 8310 South Valley Highway, Suite 110, Inglewood, Colorado, 80112-303-662-8700.
Did you know that one of the greatest threats to our quality of life is a fall? 1/3 of Americans 65 and older, and 1/2 of those over 80 will fall this year. Many will never be the same again, and some will never return to their homes. This is Bruce at Comfort Care. One of the ways we can help people stay in their home is through our free in-home fall protection survey. Let us help you identify these fall risks. Call us at 754-7676. Comfort Care, 754-7676.
This is Mark Thurston with White Pine Funeral Services. The best time to plan is when you have time to plan. Having a pre-arranged funeral gives peace of mind for everyone involved. White Pine will customize your final wishes to fit your needs, from a traditional burial to cremation to a custom headstone. White Pine also accepts pre-arranged plans from other mortuaries, and we will absorb any transfer or revocation fees. No penalty to you. Visit whitepinefunerals.com or come and see us for more information.
White Pine Funeral Services, here when you need us most.
Welcome back to the Senior Moment Show. If you're just joining us today, we're talking with Hannah Cragen. She is a volunteer coordinator, which is kind of like a director, managing the program down there for the Senior Companions program that serves the Cache, Box Elder, Rich areas. And so if you live in one of those areas and you think you might have need to or might want to have somebody come in from Hannah's group, then how would they contact you?
So my phone number is 435-760-4472, and you can call and text me as well. Yeah, that would be the best way to get through to me right now.
Is that your personal number?
That is my work phone.
That's your work phone. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a cell phone.
So is it on all the time?
Yes. And if I'm don't answer, leave a message and I'll get back to you. I get about 10 voicemails a day, so I have to delete my mailbox all the time. So don't give up. I will answer and I will chat with you. I always call back if I miss you.
So that sounds like an amazing program, and I can only imagine that the need is always higher than the volunteers. Is that correct?
Right. And so each volunteer, depending on how many hours they can serve, they will be assigned to multiple clients. And so if, let's say you're serving 5 hours a week, you're probably serving 2 clients, maybe 3 max, and so on.
So let's maybe dive a little bit into how do I envision that? Let's just say I'm going to call you and I say I'd like to volunteer my time to the organization. How does that, what kind of questions do you ask me?
So I'd ask if you're willing to do a background check. We pay for that and we help you make that happen. And if you pass, then we would love to get to know you better so that we can have a little sit down and figure out who would be the best match, because we like to match you to people that you might actually become friends with. And that's a good fit for your schedule. So you would tell me your schedule, how many hours you would like to serve. Our minimum is 5, but you could choose if that's all in one day or 1 hour a day kind of thing. It just depends on what you would like to do. And then we find clients that match up with that schedule, because there's plenty.
Is that 5 a week?
Mm-hmm.
5 a week. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what if, so 5 a week, I guess, is the answer to this question I'm going to ask, which is, what if my schedule's a little unpredictable and maybe I'm not sure if I can do it every week, but I can do it this week, and then I could do it 1 week a month or something like that. Can you make those things work?
Yes, as long as, so it's per year that we have to get 260 hours of service. And so if you miss, but you could do 10 hours 1 week and then nothing for 2 weeks and then, 20 hours the next, that works too. We also understand people have grandbabies and go on vacation. And so we accrue leave that you can apply towards those 260 hours. So if you accrue 0.1 hours for every hour of service that you give. So you could have 4 hours each week that you accrue if you serve 20 hours that you could put towards later, so you never have to worry about making up hours.
So do you do little training? Because I can only imagine that once in a while, maybe the requests are going to exceed what was initially indicated that can be done. Do you train and
we do train. We also make sure we sit down with the client and find out what their needs are, which could change over time. They could, have a fall or something like that. And so we revisit that often. But we do train our volunteers on dementia and how to be a good respite provider, which is giving a break to caregivers. We talk about, maybe you're serving a veteran. Here are questions you should ask and shouldn't ask. And here's community resources that you can give your client, or you can talk to your director and say, hey, this person really needs more help than what I can give. Here's how to refer them, and we'll help you refer them. Or if you suspect abuse or neglect, we'll show you how to come to us and we'll report that together, and it's not a scary process. So, yeah, lots of training.
So you mentioned, I'm trying to understand what the line is for who can call, when can they call as far as what are the needs, and then when does the need change to where you're like, we're probably not a good fit? What does that look like?
Well, if someone, first I want to clarify, what do you mean by call?
When they call you. So if not a volunteer, but somebody that would like help. So a family member calls, or someone calls, hey, this sounds great. I could use a little help. I'd love to have somebody come visit with me. Is it just that simple? Is there an age requirement or anything like that? What are the things that allow them to be able to be served by you? Yeah. And then if I thinking, gosh, maybe I might need too much. What would you tell somebody if they're feeling like, I need more help, and maybe that's not what you do? Yeah. So that was 2 questions, so I'm going to make sure I answer them well. Take the first one. So we do sit down with them and we assess what those needs are. And if it looks like there's more than what we can do, we'll say, this is what we can do for you, but you really need to consider home health, or you need to consider home cares, because we can't do this whole housekeeping and you need more than just what we can do. So we'll say, this is what we can do for you. And then we can say, we know Comfort Care, we know Sunshine Cares, we know all of these organizations that can help you, and we know the people that work with them. Would you like us to connect them to you? So we help with that referral process. So there's no qualifications other than they need to be either an adult with disabilities, which is that's a wide range of things. So that could be a 25-year-old. Right,
or 65 and older. And so maybe they're 60 and they have MS, they would qualify. And so we would just make sure that if the needs do exceed that, we can say, this is what we can do for you, but you need to make sure you're addressing this. And we can't force them to do that, but we would never do more than what we say we can. So we'll always refer, and we'll always bring them to community resources as well.
Great. I know this is just getting off the ground here, but let me ask you, what's your personal vision here with the amounts of people that you think you're going to serve, and how many volunteers you're shooting for?
Yeah, so because we have for our grant, we have a certain number of hours total across all volunteers that we have to provide. So if we have some people doing 20 hours, then we need fewer volunteers. But if everyone's doing 5 hours, then we need more like 60 volunteers. I have had a previous program that was pretty successful with volunteers, and so we have a great community that wants to give back. So I'm confident we would be able to find those people that it's mutually beneficial. And I forgot your other question. Sorry.
Actually,
we'll go over it.
I'm going to have to rethink that, because we're also coming up on our second break here. So let me just make the listeners aware. Maybe you want to grab a pen and paper, because we'll mention Hannah's phone number here again. This is the Senior Moments Show, visiting with Hannah Cragen. She is a volunteer coordinator with Senior Companions here in Cache Valley, serving Box Elder and Rich County also. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back.
This is Brian Erickson for the Sunshine Minute. Each day, our nurses, CNAs, cooks and servers, housekeepers, laundry staff, music, recreation therapy teams, office staff, receptionists, and many more arrive around the clock. These heroes show up ready and willing to serve and protect our residents and clients. We are so grateful to our dedicated team. On behalf of the Board of Sunshine Terrace Foundation and our community, thank you to all of our employees for keeping us safe. We bring more to life together.
You have a lot of options when it comes to buying or selling a home. Do you list it online, sell it yourself, or do you have a realtor help? It's a major financial and emotional decision. A realtor is the liaison between buyers and sellers and really helps you navigate complex contracts, deadlines, and disclosures.
Hi, this is Sid Roeder with Achievement Realty. I work for you to get the best outcome for your situation. Let me earn your trust with a free consultation and a free market analysis. Call me today at 512-6406. Then list it, sell it, and move on.
Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram offers free delivery service 5 days a week, Monday through Friday throughout the valley. Just stay home and they will deliver to you. With 25 different suppliers, they won't have the shortage that others might have. Also, with compounding and many other services, they will be able to serve all your needs. In order to stay safe and help slow the spread, please call Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram at 245-DRUG, and they will take care of you.
Whether you have a small business, large corporation, or sole proprietorship, remember Cook Martin Polson has provided quality accounting services since 1977. At Cook Martin Polson, they believe you've earned it, and they're going to help you keep it. Take a minute right now to call 750-5566. That's 750-5566 to set up your tax appointment and let Cook Martin Polson show you how to keep the money you have earned.
This is Jared Ripplinger with Cook Martin Polson. You've worked hard for your money. Let us help you keep it.
Welcome back to the Senior Moment Show. We're talking with Hannah Cragen today. She is the volunteer coordinator for the Senior Companions program here in Cache Valley, which again serves the Cache, Rich,
and Box
Elder areas. Thank you. And before we went to break, Sid promised that we would get contact information, and I am going to keep that promise for her. So, Hannah, what's your contact information?
You can call or text me at 435-760-4472.
So do you have a point where you can meet for trainings and things like that? Where is that location?
So we're actually focusing on supporting we call them stations that provide us with these recipients of service. So we're going to have trainings at the Senior Center. We'll have trainings at the Veterans Resource Center. And we're just trying to help have people be aware of those locations as well. So we'll let you know.
That's great. Let's talk about the volunteers just for a second, because there are some restrictions on who can volunteer, right?
Correct. So they must be 55 or older, and that's just because it's a grant. It's not because other people can't do it. It's just what our requirements are. And then we also want them to be under a certain income, because this grant wants to help people who might have financial barriers to volunteering to not have to worry about those. And so that our first grant is 200% of the poverty level and 400% of the poverty level, which I can share specific numbers, but it's better if you just call me, because everyone's different, whether single person household or 2-person household. But yeah, and so in order to help make it free to volunteer, we do offer a modest hourly stipend of $3 an hour and a mileage reimbursement, meal reimbursement, and we want to emphasize that this program, those things are non-taxable, so they won't affect your benefits. They won't affect if you're in subsidized housing or have veterans benefits or Social Security. But it's not going to make you money. It will just reimburse you anything that you might have lost from volunteering.
So really and truly, it's if I feel that financially I'm too tight to drive to help someone out, that's what it's intended to compensate for, and a little bit of time.
Exactly. And that stipend does help with things like wear and tear on your car from driving, just things that happen over time like depreciation. So we just understand that it costs money to volunteer and not everyone can, and so we want to make it possible for those people.
We had talked a little bit before about maybe some of the things that are important to you with the program, the things that you want to do. What are your top few things that you think should happen here that you want to make happen?
Yeah, so our goals are to help people become more, just give them a sense of purpose, give them something exciting to do and keep them active, both on the volunteer side and the recipient side. we also understand we live in a really difficult time, and seniors tend to not have as many visitors as they would like. Family lives far away. Maybe your Meals on Wheels person is the only person you see. And so we want to add another positive person in your life. And you can be that for someone else. Have something to give them to look forward to.
Sounds like you're a matchmaker for seniors, which is wonderful. So it's mutually beneficial. Yeah. Maybe I just want to throw that out there. If you feel maybe that you're lonely, you have spare time, but and there's something that means something that you'd like to do, let's make sure, Hannah, before we are at the end of our show, that we have your phone number out again.
Yeah. I'll say it right now. It's 435-760-4472.
I know that there's privacy rules around these types of things, but can you give us a general experience without going into detail or personal information on something that you feel like was really a successful execution of this?
Yeah, so I had a volunteer who is in Rich County, and he was assigned to this lady who lives alone, and he was her companion and also a food delivery driver for her, because in Rich County, there's grocery stores are far away. And he brought her food once, and he saw that her snow needed shoveling because it had been weeks, and so he did that for her. And she just cried, and she was like, I feel like you care about me, and you're not an assignment to me. You're actually a friend. And he just helped her feel like she was valued, she mattered, and that she wasn't alone in the world. That's the kind of thing that you see with this program. Is it starts as an assignment, but it really becomes like just true friendship, or even just kindness in action.
So we've talked a little bit about some of these restrictions. So do you allow your volunteers to go above some of the restricted work, or?
As long as we're not doing anything nursing wise or helping them with their finances, or like lifting them, anything that could endanger their health, we don't do that. We also, it's up to the volunteer what they want to do, but those are our restrictions.
Okay. Well, we're already getting to the end of our show, so I want to give you a chance, Hannah, one more time to mention your phone number.
So it's 435-760-4472. And please call or text, and remember that I will get to you. I will, if I don't answer, and I would love to chat with you.
Thank you so much for coming in, Hannah. This was a fun program, fun to learn about the Senior Companions. Hannah Cragen, she is the volunteer coordinator for the organization, so get in touch with her if you know someone in need or you'd like to help. This is the Senior Moment Show. We're sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group. If you'd like to learn more about the Empowering Seniors, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info or email us at empoweringseniorscv@gmail.com, and the CV stands for Cache Valley. And we'll hope you tune in again next week.